People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, the international break has finished. Arsenal fans, it was a welcome break, man. It's always disappointing to see your team drop points before it, and obviously, whatever team you support, even if you're a Spurs fan right now, that's the only grace from this season. We all missed our team slightly over the international break or not being able to watch them, but this week is back. The stress is back. September, stop saying September, bruv. Saturday, the 23rd of November, we are back. I'm at the Emery'S, people, and I must admit, my last few visits to the Emery'S haven't left me with any joy. We all know away from home, the open book that Arsenal is. We all know at home, our players deteriorated, and we're either not scoring goals, not killing teams off, or just not playing convincingly, and teams are walking away with a point, 3 points, or if they're not, they're always thinking that they could have done more. Like Arsenal, we're meant to be a team. Every team in the top six should be a team where teams are lucky that they get a point off you, or they're thinking, boy, we did what we could. Now teams are looking at Arsenal, as they have done for a few years, in that if they don't get 3 points, they're more looking at it as what them as individuals didn't do well. If I was Palace, I would have done the same. If I was Wolves, I would have done the same. If I was Leicester, they took 3 points, but could you have scored more against Arsenal? You really kept this rubbish Arsenal side in it for 70 odd minutes before the 2 goals came. Do you get it? And Southampton, they're a team that have lost 9-0 this season. They're a team that are, 19th, fighting relegation at this moment in time. All of that probably going out the window, and they'll turn into that Southampton that normally awaits us at St Mary's, people. We don't travel to St Mary's. So I'm always confident as an Arsenal fan in games, but can I really be confident looking at our home form? Obviously, Emery needs to win. The Wolves are on Emery. Emery, for me, isn't the man for this role. If he loses to Southampton, I'm not going to say that means he leaves, but the pressure's on. It's irrelevant, but especially with our neighbours down the lane changing their manager, who's been there for 5 years, giving them a great period, got them to a Champions League final. So who knows? Like I said, 19th versus 6th, people. We need to do what we can, people. I think if we win this game and take 3 points, I believe until City play, we actually are on either level or above them. I can't remember. We've obviously got people behind us as well, people. Let me see the Premier League table, because I should have that. Siri, Premier League table.
These are the standings for the
Don't
Premier
know.
League from the current season.
So look at it, people. We're on 17 points. Oh, sorry, we can't go out. I was gassing. See, that's how mad the table is, people. We can get up to 20 points and potentially go ahead of Sheffield United. 5 behind Manchester City. Apologies, people. Sheffield United. Manchester United and Wolves and Bournemouth are 16 points, on 16 points, so 1 behind us. Burnley are on 15. Brighton are on 15. And Palace are on 15. So are Newcastle. Spurs could go ahead of us. Everton could. You see, so many teams can. Again, we don't know about. I don't know. It's not showing me the goal difference and things, but teams can draw level up on points with us or go above us. So the players have to stop feeling sorry for themselves. We're in a poor run of form. I think it's going to continue, but these boys need to be looking at 9 to 12 points going into when the City game comes, people. I'm not disrespecting any of these teams. Hell, I can't disrespect them the way Arsenal's playing. But in our next couple of games, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you've got what? Southampton to come. You've got Brighton. You've got Norwich. You've got West Ham away where we lost last season. The team should be looking to get 12 points from that, 10 minimum, to give yourself a snowball's chance against City. And then you go into that City game just about respect. We know we're probably not going to win, but it's 90 minutes. We give ourselves, we try. If we lose by a respectable scoreline, and we've got that damage limitation there. We're approaching a tough period in terms of fixtures. We're in a tough run of form. The manager is not the manager for me, but the players have also got to stop feeling sorry for themselves. The players have to stop feeling sorry for themselves. I've heard Rob Holding and Socrates come out and talk about we need to get confidence. All it takes is a winning run of games and a sequence. I get that. But at the end of the day, it's easy to talk. Go out there and do it. I don't want to hear talking. You need to go out there and do it. You need to get 3 points against Southampton. I don't believe you lot want top 4. I know that's what. Obviously they want it, but I don't believe they want top 4 because these players are not consistent. Don't play consistent like a side or a set of players that wants it, people. You remove Klopp from that situation and just look at Liverpool isolated. All of them players are playing like they want to win league titles, like they want to retain Champions League, like they just want to be consistent, like they're just fearful of disappointing their teammates and their brothers in arms. I do think we've got a tight-knit bunch of players, but I don't think that's the case at Arsenal. So you can't feel sorry for yourselves. You want top 4, only you lot can pull you out of this bad form. There's no time to feel sorry for yourselves because we've got Norwich away, West Ham away, Brighton who have taken points of us in recent years as well. And obviously Southampton. Now Southampton should be looking at it, and rightly so, is that, let's get our season on track today. We've lost 9-0 this season. We've been poor. Let's start our season today. Let's start what's known as the beating the drop sort of thing. And there's a likely chance that could happen, people. Obviously, Southampton have 3 draws and 2 wins in their last 5. Obviously, Arsenal are unbeaten in our last 24 home games against Southampton, winning 18, drawing 6. 1987 is the last time we suffered defeat in such contexts. Obviously, we're winless in our last 4 Premier League games. We've not gone on a longer run without a win since a run of 6 between May and August 2011. We've obviously, one positive factor, if you can find anything to be positive about, is Southampton have lost 6 of their last 7 Premier League games, drawing 1, conceding 23 goals, while also only scoring in the opposition net 6 occasions. So they struggle to score goals. They struggle to keep goals in, similar to us. You'd think both teams can score. But let's not forget, they've got Danny Ings, Shane Long, I'm so sure. These are players that typically have something to say against Arsenal. They've got Redmond. These are players that typically have something to say when we play these teams. So regardless of their lack of wins, their consistent losing, where they are in the table, inability to score in the opposition's net, inability to keep clean sheets, we've got to respect them, people. We've obviously won 35 of our last 36 Premier League games against sides starting the day in the relegation zone. Sadly, we also have a negative goal difference as a team. I'm in the top flight for the first time since 1982-83. Emery, well done for making history. Obviously, Arsenal have lost more Premier League games in November than we have in any other month in the competition, which stands at 34. And then another stat is no side has scored fewer first half goals in the Premier League this season than Southampton, so they struggle to score goals, people. Danny Ings has scored in 5 different Premier League games this season, but hasn't been on the winning side in any of them, which is sad. But we've got to take them seriously, people. We have no choice but to take them seriously. Last season, we lost 3-2 away from home. I think Armstrong had something to say in that game, and we beat them 2-0. We beat them 2-0. I think the last time they kept a clean sheet recently was against Portsmouth in the League Cup. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Maybe a big part as to why they've kind of gone with 3 at the back, a 3-4-3 like you've seen in a couple of their games, has probably been because they're shipping goals, because their lack of clean sheets and whatnot. That a big part of that has been there. But if we was to just simply look at the first thing I've seen them play, I think they played this against Everton. I've got it printed off. Let me check I've got the right players. Yeah, we've got 3-4-3. They've got 3 at the back. Now, coming to the Emirates, you can imagine fullbacks sit, midfielders sit, you track back, striker behind the ball. You can already see how in the formation I had, there's no space, people, because our fullbacks are going to get there. This is my defensive mid. Our pivot's going to be there. Centre halves are probably going to be on the edge of the line, edge of the area, and their thought is probably, let's match them. Let's have men 2v2 on fullbacks. Let's block areas. We've got 3 centre halves here. That should be able to work. Arsenal have an issue breaking down sides. Let's capitalise on Arsenal's inability by their own standards in previous years to break down teams. Let's stay rigid. Let's stay compact. It's obviously not 2 banks of 4, but apologies if you can't see, people. To a degree, it's 2 banks or 4. Do you get it, people? Make it difficult to break down and capitalise on Arsenal's poor form, on the fact that the longer the game, because of where Southampton and Arsenal are, the longer the game goes on, where Arsenal have not taken the lead and the ramifications for not winning become apparent, and the tougher they are to break down, that nervousness is going to fill into the players and cause rash decisions. The fans are going to be there. We all know Emirates, people. How many times at the Emirates have we just simply played convincingly, scored early goals? The one time this season we scored 2 goals very early, we walked away with a point, dropping 2. Do you get it? So they're going to be difficult to break down. So that's something to be aware of. Obviously, I don't need to draw it to you, but Danny Ings, he's a very street smart striker. He might not be the most prolific, but he is very smart. He'll drop deep. He'll chase lost causes. He'll hang on the last shoulder. And all it takes is James Ward-Prowse to find him, and he'll find the back of our net. He will turn into Ronaldo Lima this game. Set pieces, if I was Southampton, I'd also look to exploit set pieces purely because you've got one of the best... Listen to what I'm saying specifically. There's no way James Ward-Prowse, when you're talking about free kicks and set piece delivery, he's not. I'm not saying he's the best, but there's no way he's not in that conversation in terms of the best people with that trait in the Premier League. So if you've got a player who can find anybody, he could probably have found Bin Laden when he was hiding with a football people. If you've got that, you've got centre-halves with physical height. You know Arsenal can't defend. You try and take advantage of dead ball situations. That's something Arsenal need to be aware of. One benefit as well is, forgive me if I'm wrong, Southampton rank quite low for tackles. We're higher than them for tackles, so I don't know about their mobility and their ability to break down teams and break down our play if it gets going, people. If it gets going. They're 6th in the league for passes as well, people. Last season they conceded 65 goals. This season they've conceded 30 already and already been subjective to 8 defeats. They shoot less than us, people. They've had 134 shots, ranking them 15th. Interestingly, like I said, they don't rank low for tackles. They rank 4th for tackles, 222. So if you look at it, if they're going to be compact, rigid, snap at heels, be difficult to break down, it's going to be a fight today in this game, people. It really is. Now, let me move everybody back because now everybody's doing a madness. My defensive mid, this was the formation I was rolling with. Everybody's about just doing a madness now. Sorry people, I've mixed it all up, but we're going back to our 4-3-3. Let me exaggerate. Wait, these are midfielders. Let me not do that. What's the second formation I saw them roll with? So obviously they went more with a solid back 5 against City. Now City's an enigma, people, but if you remember, if they went with a back 5 against City and it took City 2 more or less last minute goals from Walker and whoever to break them down, and that was an away game for Southampton, forgive me if I'm wrong, that's something to be inspired by. If you can only lose 2-0 to City, then by that logic, if City only scored 2 goals against you, by that logic, then Arsenal aren't going to score any against you, people. But they went with more of a back 5. What have they got? And then they've got a 3 in midfield. This is if they want to go with James Ward-Prowse and whoever. And then they went with 2 strikers. Now that's maybe what I would go with because I see there's more balance. Because Arsenal strikers or a wide man in Pepe, which I've got here, will quickly become outnumbered. You've matched us in midfield and there's already a disconnect with our centre-halves, midfielders feeding it into these sort of man. You press and discourage them from playing out from the back, especially Socrates, who's difficult there. Force Luis to just look for long balls. Aubameyang's hold-up play is not the best. It's just going to come straight back to you. So there is a lot of things for Southampton to have a lot of promise by. I'd probably go with a slightly 5 at the back rather than a 3-4-3 of sorts like the last formation, people. But for me, we might as well speak about Arsenal now. You lot know me. I'm probably going to shock you lot by the tactics for this game. For me, would not start Lacazette. You lot know I always say Lacazette and Aubameyang. Part of me wants them both to start, but I'm actually going with Aubameyang. I'm going with Pepe in this row. I want Pepe to be behind the striker because Pepe comes inside a lot, people. It's down to Bellerin or whoever to support the thing and go down that flank. But I want Pepe here, people. I want Pepe to obviously do his thing on the flanks, but come inside and link up because that's what he's about. I want Aubameyang because I do see we need players who are going to move, people. I see these lot with movement, and obviously Lacazette just simply misses out because I would love to go with Mesut Ozil, people. I think we've got to play players that can find a pass. Torreira's been acting like a bad bee in all these comments about leaving, but he's going to stay at the base for me. I would go with Guendouzi and do you know, I'd go with Guendouzi, Ceballos, Ozil, you know. We need to be expansive. This team is coming here to defend. Let's go at them. Now, if I was Southampton saying that, I wouldn't necessarily come at Arsenal to defend. It's not like playing another top 6 side. I would come here, have a go at them, ask questions of that nervous defence, people. But that would be my team. So I guess I actually haven't said the lineup. So I guess for me personally, people, I'm going with Leno picks himself. It's the best of a bad. Everybody's terrible in defence, let's just be honest. I'm going to go with David Luiz and Rob Holding because they're just better technically than Socrates. Hector Bellerin, Kieran Tierney, Torreira in his familiar position. Ceballos is going to be in that role for me with Matteo Guendouzi. I'm going to play Ozil. Okay, Ozil, you want to be... What, you saying you got a cold? You don't want to play in that game? Say nothing. And I'm going with Pepe and Aubameyang. Now, Pepe, I want him to have that free role. I get it. Lacazette and Finn could both play, press these centre halves and whatnot. But I just want to go with the players for movement. Like Lacazette's got good movement, but he's not the quickest. And I don't think he's been in the best of form, to be honest with you. He should probably start. He will probably start. But for me, I would go with Aubameyang and Pepe, Ozil behind him, Ceballos and Guendouzi, Torreira in 10. I'm gonna sound like Emery. Torreira in his familiar defensive midfield role. I'm going with my centre halves in Holding and David Luiz. Tierney and Bellerin pick themselves, as does Leno. But in relation to my preview, people, there's nothing more we can do to get 3 points. If we don't get 3 points, Emery needs to resign on the spot, people. It's that simple because, yeah, man, I don't know what to say about Arsenal at this moment in time anymore. Is there really anything more I can say? You've been watching us. Hopefully we get 3 points. Hopefully I don't throw more money down the drain going on watching my team live. But it is what it is, man. For those of you who have persisted with me, thank you for watching. Apologies if some of the tactics board's been cut out. I don't think it has, but I'm always conscious of that. One day it'll be, you might see an interactive board and whatnot. But yeah, man, right now we're working with what we have. But in relation to my Southampton preview, people, it's been a pleasure. People, Deluded. Thank you for watching, rocking, commenting and all of these things. Make sure you comment your opinions. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you check out my descriptions for all my other platforms that you can catch me on as well, people. On that note though, people, DG, it's been a pleasure. God bless. Stay safe, people. We'll speak again. I'm out. Before I go, YouTube's N'Golo Kante and that.